guys, so today I'm going to be showing you the everyday makeup that I've been wearing basically for the last week, and this is kind of my new go-to routine that I've just really been reaching for, and I feel like it fits any occasion. And I'm going to be using my Osmosis foundation that you saw me review in my last video, and it was just a little too dark for me when I filmed that video, but then I went on vacation to Mexico for a week and I got about half a shade darker. I am clearly pale and do not really tan, but just that half a shade kind of cut the glare and made me like have this foundation be a little more wearable on my skin tone. So I've been getting away with this for the past week. Today's probably the last day that I'll be able to wear this without it looking too dark again. So I thought I'd show you how I use it. And if you want to see how I get my current everyday makeup routine, then please keep watching. As always, I'm going to start off with eyes and use my tried and true MAC Painterly Paint Pot and my damp beauty blender to prime the eyelids. And this eye look is basically the same as you've seen me do in every other video, but it's going to have winged eyeliner like I do a lot of the times. I kind of go through phases where I either loved winged eyeliner or I hate it, and I feel like in the summer I just don't really bother with it. I go for more of just the natural no liner look, but now since we're moving a little bit more into fall, I'm falling back in love with the winged eyeliner and I've been rocking it every day, so that's what we're going to do today. Now that my eyelids are nice and primed, I'm going to go in with my favorite MAC eyeshadows. This first one I'm going in with is Ricepaper, which is just a kind of plain shimmery shade, and I'm just going to put that all over to set my eyeshadow primer. And then I'm going to go in back into the crease with Soft Brown and this same large Sigma E40 fluffy blending brush. So I'm going to use this Ricepaper all over the lid and then go back in with it now in Soft Brown and just kind of buff that into the crease to add a little bit of definition. And this is what I always do. This is just, I think, adds a little more dimension to the eyes without making it a whole complete eyeshadow look. With eyeshadow done, I'm going to move on to eyeliner, and I'm going to use my favorite at the moment, which is the Maybelline Unstoppable eyeliner. This is my holy grail, and my NYX Epic Ink Liner. I'm kind of biding my time waiting for this to run out so I can repurchase the Kat Von D, but for now this is what I'm using as my liquid liner. So I'm going to go in first with the Maybelline and draw on a straight line, and then do the flick with my NYX liquid liner. Today was just not a day that the eyeliner gods were in our favor, so we're just going to move on. That liquid eyeliner is just not my favorite. So anyway, I'm going to move on to lashes, and I'm going to start out with my Revitalash Volumizing Primer, and then go on top of it with my CoverGirl, the Supersizer Fibers Mascara. So mascara is on, and now I'm going to go in with my Glow Minerals Mattifying Primer. And I'm just going to concentrate this on the T-zone and where I have larger pores and tend to get oily, which is right here, and then right down the center of my face. Now that primer's on, I'm going to take one pump of my Osmosis Performance Wear Satin Foundation in Golden Light onto my damp beauty blender. And one pump of this really comes out like a lot, but it kind of blends into the skin really effortlessly and gives a skin-like finish. So one pump I find is enough to give a really nice full coverage effect. So that's how much I'm going to use. With the foundation blended in, you can really see how skin-like this looks. It does cover all my imperfections pretty well, but at the same time, it really just gives a fresh finish to the skin. It doesn't look like there's a foundation sitting on top of my skin. To me, it really just looks like skin. So I really love the finish of that foundation. And then we're going to go in with my favorite concealer, and that is the Maybelline Age Rewind one with a little fluffy ball thing on top. And I'm just going to take that under the eyes, and then I'm going to blend this out with my beauty blender. Then to set my under eye concealer, I'm going to use my Well People Bio Brightener translucent setting powder, and I'm going to take that on my beauty blender once again, my tool for everything, and just set that delicately into place. And to set the entire face, I'm going to use my Osmosis Mineral Pressed Base in Fair and my La Mer powder brush. I've been loving this combo. I think it sets your foundation, adds just a little bit of coverage, but it doesn't look too cakey, and it just gives a really natural skin-like finish, and I've just really been loving it. And now for my favorite step, which is bronzing, I'm going to use my Glow Minerals Bronzer in Sunlight and my Osmosis Full Face Brush to kind of bronze up the whole face. Now that the face is mostly bronzed up, I'm going to go back in with my NARS Ita brush and that same bronzer and just take a little bit down the sides of my nose And this just kind of warms up the center of your face, and since I am so fair, it kind of gives a little extra dimension to the nose. I'm pretty happy with the bronzer, and now I'm going to use my highlighter, and that is the CoverFX Moonlight highlighter. And this was one of my favorites earlier on in the year, and then I kind of forgot about it and kind of went back to some of my other highlighters, but this one I really like. It's a really nice pale subtle color. I'm going to take it on my Anastasia, what is this, A23 brush, and just use this lightly on the tops of my cheekbones. And you can really build this up. It is pretty intense actually for a highlighter. No one really talks about these CoverFX highlighters. Everyone kind of talks about their custom enhancer drops, but I love this powder highlight by them. But it can be really intense, so I'm just gonna kind of be pretty light-handed today, try to blend that in so that it's not too much for my everyday look. Then to blend in my highlighter and bronzer, I'm going to use my Osmosis blush in Peony and my MAC 168 brush, and just kind of brighten up the cheeks and blend together the highlighter and bronzer. And for brows, I'm going to start by brushing them up with a spoolie, and then typically I use either my Anastasia Brow Wiz or brow powder, but I've really been loving my NYX, what is this, Tame and Frame Tinted Brow Pomade, and this is comparable to the Anastasia Dip Brow or anything like that, and I'm going to use this Real Techniques little angled brush that I have to kind of use this to fill in my brows, because I've been finding that I do have some like sparser bald spots like right here on my brows, for instance, where the powder and the Brow Wiz don't really look as natural when I try to fill that in really dark, and this dip brow or this pomade really does look a little more natural for filling in kind of the sparser areas. So I'm going to use this today, but nothing too heavy-handed. I don't want to end up with Sharpie brows or anything. So I'm just going to kind of lightly brush this through and kind of build up the color until they look how I want them to look. I'm about as happy as I'm ever going to be with the shape of my brows, so I'm just going to finish them off with my Benefit Gimme Brow in number 3 to add just a little bit more color and to help hold them in place. And to finish off the eyes, what I've been doing lately is adding a little bit of a matte brown shadow under my eye, and you could go back in with the same color that you use in the crease, so I could go back in with soft brown, but I'm going to go in with this different MAC shade in what color is this? Charcoal brown, which is this medium toned brown right here. It came in this little quad. And I'm going to just take any little eyeshadow brush you have that can get under the eye and just smudge this on the outer half of my bottom lash line. So just take a little bit at a time. Don't want anything too crazy, but just something to add a little bit of definition under the eye. And I've really been liking this lately because typically all through summer I go with just no bottom mascara or eyeshadow at all. Once that's on there, I'm going to use my Clinique Bottom Lash Mascara to coat the bottom lashes. And then to finish off the eyes, I'm going to go back in with my CoverFX highlighter and a little shader brush to highlight the inner corners of my eyes and underneath my brow bone. So just a little there, and then a little in the brow bone of each eye. And the last part of my look is going to be lip gloss, and every day I've been wearing the Sara Happ, the Ballet Slip 1 Luxe Gloss, and I'm absolutely obsessed with this. I want to get her nude one as well, but this cool tone pink is just like absolutely perfect in my opinion. And that does it for my current everyday makeup routine. I'm absolutely loving this look. I've been wearing it every day for the last week, and I'll probably be wearing a slight variation of this for the foreseeable future. I really don't see myself abandoning this lip gloss in particular anytime soon. And I'm really just loving this powder and bronzer and blush and basically the whole look. I'm absolutely obsessed with. So I hope you enjoyed seeing how I get this everyday makeup look, and thank you so much for watching.